Hello friends, today I'm here to start a new series reading vlog. So I've been trying to read some rom-coms and I'm just not in the mood for that. I don't know. Normally rom-coms are like good standbys, but not working for me now. So we are probably gonna cry quite a bit in this reading vlog. Maybe that'll help. Maybe that's what I'm in the mood for. We're gonna read Rebecca Yarros' Flight and Glory series. These are military romances. I'm assuming from the other Rebecca Yarros books, her 3 newest standalones, that they're gonna make me cry. Book 1 is Full Measures. Book 2 is Eyes Turned Skyward. Book 3 is Beyond What Is Given. Book 4 is Hollowed Ground. And book 5, they came out much later than the rest of the series, so it's got a colorful cover, so the black and white is the reality of everything. I want to go ahead and start this reading vlog, and I will update you when I start book 1. There's probably going to be crying in this video. Okay guys, so I started book 1. I've read 3 chapters, and I've already cried. So the female character in this one, her dad's in the military, and he was killed in action. And the beginning of it is them like answering the door to the people, telling them. And then we've been through his funeral. We've been through that, and we've been through his funeral. And the funeral scene got me. My grandpa passed away a couple of years ago, and he had been in the military, so that's the only military funeral that I've been to. And then they did, I don't know what it's called for the military, but they do it in firemen funerals. It's like the last call thing. Yeah, it got me. I don't want to take a break. I want to keep reading, but I think I need to take a break for a little bit. But yeah, I think it's bedtime. I need to process for a little bit. But that's the kind of story I wanted. That's the kind of story I expected. So same spot next night. I guess I'm about halfway through Full Measures. I'm liking it pretty well. It's kind of just this makes it sound bad, but it's not, I don't mean it in a bad way. Kind of just like a generic new adult. Other than the fact that her dad has passed away, and she's that kind of just, like new adults have a lot of like family issues. That's what her family is dealing with. The love interest he's her little brother's hockey coach, but she also went to high school with him. But now that she's transferred home, she goes to the same college as him now. And he's a pretty standard new adult hero. Nothing major yet. So the character names in this. Her name is Ember. People call her Ember, but her name is December. Her sister's name is April. And I don't know that it said it. If it did, I must have kind of like glazed over it. But her little brother's name is Gus. And I'm almost positive that that is short for August. So April, August, and December. And her birthday, the, the day they found out about her dad was her birthday. And it was in December. So, like, that's. I don't know. That's kind of, like, that's weird to me. But it is time for me to call it a night. And honestly, I'll probably finish that tomorrow. But time for me to call it a night. So I finished book 1, Full Measures. I liked it a lot. It was, I think I mentioned, I'm pretty sure I did. I mentioned that it had a lot of kind of generic new adult, not really tropes, I guess themes would be the word. The main character, Ember, she's a virgin, she's in college. It kind of wasn't her choice that she was a virgin, but that's a whole thing. Her boyfriend cheats on her, she's rescued by the love interest. It's and that's when they kind of start their thing. For most of it, I was kind of just like waiting for the ball to drop, the surprise to hit, because it's a military romance like series, and she was pretty heavily in the she was not going to date a military man because she didn't want to like deal with what happened to her father again. So kind of expected that ball to drop for most of it, and when it did, it played out pretty much how I expected it to. Towards the end, before she like goes to was Josh John? His name is Josh Walker, and I'm watching Falcon and Winter Soldier as it comes out, and I think that man's name is John Walker, and so I keep like. Anyway, before she goes to him and says that she wants to be with him, and before the end of it, she goes with her mom to the like coming home ceremony for the unit that her dad would have come home with, and there was a speech by her mom that made me cry. Just about how the worry and all that was worth it for those moments, and yeah, I really liked that speech. But yeah, I did really like this. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Another thing is that, like, from following Rebecca Yarros on social media, her has been only like within the past like couple of years, I would say, because I probably started following her after reading The Last Letter, which was 2018. I don't remember what year that came out. I don't remember what year it came out, but that's when I started following her, and he like retired from the military after I started following her. So it hasn't been very long, which means she wrote these probably while he was either deployed or like could have been deployed like pretty soon after she wrote these. I'm like, I can't imagine like I know she would have seen all of these feelings a lot from being around other military families, but I can't imagine having to write a scene about them finding out that the main character's dad had been killed. I can't imagine having to write that while also worrying about that happening in real life. Yeah, so Rebecca Yarros, you are a much stronger person than I am because but I do still have a little bit of time that I can read today, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up book 2, Eyes Turned Skyward, which it says is about Jagger, who was the roommate of Josh from the first one. While I throw the book around. So I am going to go get started on this one. So it is the next day, and I have it's already the afternoon. I've been reading this morning, Eyes Turned Skyward. I'm liking this one a lot too. I'm enjoying that this one has the dual point of views on it, so we're getting both of them. We already know her, like the main characters are keeping secrets from each other. We already know hers, but we don't know his, and I have probably just over 100 pages left, so I'm really ready to find that out because it's kind of driving me crazy. She had a boyfriend at the beginning of it that was a lot of times a new adult, they have the family approved boyfriend, and that's kind of what that was. So there was a kiss before she broke up with the boyfriend, so I didn't love that. And I am glad that after the kiss, she straight away told him, this happened, and then she kind of breaks up with him. And one of the first times they talk after that, he basically tells her he understands why she did it, and I'm glad that they didn't make him go on and on and on about trying to get her back. And he is in the flight school with Jagger, and so they're kind of rivals in school still, but I was gonna say for the most part they've kind of stopped being rivals for her, because her and Jagger are technically together at this point, but I'm not sure that we've actually seen the last of that. But like I said, I have about 100 pages left to go, and I need to film this afternoon, so I just finished Eyes Turned Skyward, and I liked this one a lot too. So I did have a bit of a am I a horrible person moment. So the heroine in this one has a heart condition. We knew about it the whole time, but she did never tell the love interest until basically she was kind of having I don't know if it was technically a heart attack, but it was it's kind of that same thing. So my horrible person moment, she's having this attack on page, and something in my brain clicked at that moment that her heart condition is the same one that Lucas had on One Tree Hill. And her sister, who passed away before the start of the book, was named Peyton. And I started laughing while she's having this attack on Paige, and yep, that was the thing that happened today. But we finally figured out his secret, Jagger's secret, which there was kind of two parts to it, and one part I expected, but the other part I didn't expect. But I'm still not 100% sure that it was actually resolved in any way. It had to do with his dad and his sister and family stuff. But I don't feel like he basically just told his dad to go away, and he did. I don't feel like that was ever, I don't feel resolved in that situation. But I think I'm gonna give this one 4 stars as well. I haven't looked to see who the next book is about because it's all the way over there. And I'm quite comfy on my bed right now. But there was a setup for Paisley's ex-boyfriend and her friend. There was a setup for that. And then I also really want a book about, was this Grayson? I think was his name. He's Jagger and Josh's, from the first book's, roommate in this one. I really want a book about him too. He intrigues me. I want to know more about him. But yeah, that is it for right now. Like I said, I need to go put this together and film some videos. So, okay, y'all. So, it's the next day. I started reading book 3, Beyond What Is Given. And so this one is Grayson, who was the roommate that I said I wanted to hear about. So his love interest is Sam, who was the friend, the like high school friend of the girl from book 1. She's moved from Colorado, where book 1 was, to Alabama, where books 2 and this one take place, and she's moved in with them. She was basically like kicked out of college and needed to start over, so she's moved states to be with them. Her mom is in the military as well. This is Grayson and the guys are starting their they're in flight school. They did like their regular training, and now they're doing their like specific helicopter training. But y'all, can we appreciate that I am that far into the book and they just had conversations about what they were like their past. Like, she knows about what's in his past, there is still a thing. There is still something that I don't think he's telling everybody, but that has more to do with his school and not like his like life. I think he's dyslexic. He hasn't like said it yet, but I think he's dyslexic because he's always talking about having to study hard and like that kind of thing. But he knows why she got kicked out of college, what happened, and I'm loving that is the open communication, because that was a lot of bit annoying in books 1 and 2. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to reading. So I wanted to update. It was nice and refreshing. They've had that conversation already. I finished it. So I think this one was a 5-star for me. I really loved this one. There's a lot in this book, but that's what I wanted from this series. I wanted it to make me feel. And yeah, so I remember, I should have looked. I think the last time that I updated was when I said that they had told each other about what their like past thing was, and I liked that they told each other that, but then they still had to, like, those issues didn't go away. They still had to work through the trust and the understandings, and yeah. I like that part of it for Sam was needing to have the faith in herself to deal with what had happened that got her kicked out of school. And I liked that even though it tore him up inside, Grayson let her have that time to do it by herself. But then he was there. Sorry, spoilers. He was there in Colorado while she was doing it, but he was just kind of silently like staying away from her and waiting for her to say that she wanted him there, that she needed him there. I love this one a lot. I think I'm gonna give this one 5 stars. I have 2 more. I don't know how this series flies flying by that fast. But yeah, that one's been my favorite so far. I don't know who the next book is gonna be though. I'm a little confused as to that. I guess I could look that up. Let me think. So, book 4, Hallowed Ground. There are some debts you can't repay. Okay. This is the couple from the first book. Oh no. This is the couple from the first book, and it sounds like he's gonna be deployed. Which, like, duh. They're, like, duh. But, oh no. I'm so confused. I guess we'll find out when I start reading. I need a break for a little bit, though, because I loved the last one a lot, and now I don't know what's gonna happen in this one, and I'm so concerned. So I couldn't wait, and I went ahead and started Hallowed Ground, because I wanted to know, like, how it was back to the couple in the first one. And he's getting ready to deploy all of them except, all of them, Josh from the first book and Jagger, sorry, I tested out nail polish, I haven't taken it off yet. Josh from the first book, Jagger from book 2, they're getting ready to deploy. Will, who was, what's her name's boyfriend in book 2, they've kind of become friends with him now, and he's going as well. There was just a little bit of a fight between him and Morgan, who was the friend. So, like, maybe they're the next book. Because I'm trying to figure out who book 5 is about. Because, book 5. Because there's 4 guys. So, like, it's gotta be Will. Anyway. So, they just had, like, a really awkward, Jagger and Paisley from book 2 got married. They, like, eloped with, her parents and his sister. So there was a really awkward proposal in this one that I definitely understand why she said no to. I kind of didn't understand why he wasn't seeing why she was saying no. But whatever. Yeah, but I think they're at I think that was 10 days to deployment, so I figure that it's about to be real rough. I don't like how much foreshadowing this book is doing. Well, the next book is not Morgan and Will. Oh, that was a really sucky chapter to read. Hey guys, so, all honesty, it's been a few days. I finished Hallowed Ground, but this one was a pretty, not a slow read. It was good. I was interested. It took a while. I needed to take some breaks. So this one reminded me a lot of, what's it called? If you read The Simple Wild, the sequel to that one, Wild at Heart, is that what it was called? Yeah. I wish I had it, but it's at my sister's because she still hasn't read it. But it reminded me a lot of that in the way that it was about, like, it was about the couple from the first book and like what their life is like living together and having to figure out that situation. But yeah, this one was hard to read because he was deployed for part of it, and then yeah. So my guess is, I don't know where I'm going with this. I should have got my thoughts together a little bit better. Um, so I liked seeing what happened after that. I didn't like how repetitive it got a little bit. I also understand that Rebecca Yarros was trying to show that like couples don't have one argument make up and then it's over with. Like, you need to actually fix what you're arguing about. You need to actually talk about what you're arguing about. So, um, I'm gonna give Hallowed Grounds 4 stars. Yes, 4 stars. That's what I'm gonna go with. So the first set of books came out, I think, between 2014 and 2016. And then we're gonna skip way ahead to 2020 when The Reality of Everything came out. So I don't know who this one is gonna be about. It's just like, it's a thick book too. So let's find out together. Oh no. So I was halfway right. Oh god, this one's gonna hurt too. So this one is Morgan, who I thought was gonna be with Will, but because of what happened in the last book, she can't be with Will anymore. So it says that I guess she buys a house in the Outer Banks and wants to fix up the beach house. And her new neighbor is a single dad to a 5-year-old daughter and a search and rescue pilot. So that's gonna hurt. But we're gonna start this one today. Hey guys, so it's been a couple of days again. We ended up being very suddenly shorthanded at work. But I have been reading The Reality of Everything. I just passed page 200, so I'm having a bit of an issue with this one. So I've been trying not to like spoil this too much, but Morgan, who was a friend in book 2, she's the best friend. She was in love with the boyfriend that the girl in book 2 had at the beginning. And he kind of became part of the friend group, but he wouldn't date her. like he wouldn't date her. Before they deployed, they had like this big argument, which is what made me think that they were going to be this next book. But he was killed in action. He was killed while they were deployed. So this one is 2 years after that. Starts off and she's depressed, obviously, and she's moved and she's used the money that he left her because he wanted to leave her something. So I think he said it was a life insurance policy. But she used that money that he left her to buy a beach house, and she's moved to the coast from Alabama. She's moved to North Carolina coast, and she's seen this therapist, and I was like, I'm really, like, I'm proud of her, like, it's been 2 years. I'm proud of her that she wants to see this therapist, that she's going to this therapist. I think she chose to. I don't think anybody like made her do it or told her she needed to do it or anything. And then she meets her neighbor, who's a super hot guy, and he's super sweet to his daughter. I like him alright, but I don't like that she because the chapters that are from her point of view, I don't like that she's making it seem like he's the reason she's doing better and not the therapist. Like a while back we had like 3 therapy scenes, and recently we haven't had any, but she's having all these breakthroughs, and it's because she kissed him, or it's because he told her that he's a search and rescue pilot, and now she's freaked out that she's attracted to another pilot. And I'm just like, so, she's still kind of mad at him right now, or, well, I'm not entirely sure what's going on. They kind of started to make up, and then something else happened, so, I don't know. But I'm hoping that changes. I'm hoping that we start seeing the therapist a little bit more, the therapist and the therapy a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, I'm liking it all right so far. I just wish that was. I wish that was different. So I did it. I finished The Reality of Everything and the Flight and Glory series. So I think it was the last clip that I did. I was a little bit critical on the whole healing process, and I still do have that critique a little bit. I felt like it kind of made it seem like she was healing more from her grief in the relationship than she was in therapy. But with the, how do I say this? With the events that happened at the end of the book, I kind of feel like it balanced it a bit more. Like it was both. So, like, I'm good. There was a scene where she talked to Paisley about her feelings of the situation surrounding Will's death, and I really liked. Set that down. I really liked that the way she described it was the way it seemed in the previous book, and it wasn't just like feelings coming out of nowhere. I don't know if Rebecca Yarros fully intended to write Morgan's book after the others, because like I think I don't remember how much, like there was a year's gap in between the last book and this book, publishing wise, so I don't know if she fully intended to write Morgan's story, but I do like that Morgan feeling disconnected from the group was how it was in the last book. Like they didn't, even after dropping the hint that I picked up on, that I thought Morgan and Will were going to be this next book. And then after he passed away, you know, she never seemed to be included in any way with the like main group, and that was part of her grief, and like why it was so strong for her. I really like. I'm glad that it made that connection to it. The end of this one, there is a hurricane, and I fully understood the what's the word? I fully understood being worried about somebody who won't evacuate from a hurricane that is forecasted to be very damaging. But I liked this one. It's probably another 4-star, I think. I think it's another 4-star read for me. So that's gonna do it for this series. What was it? let me get the books. So, book 1, Full Measures, which is Josh. I still wanted to call him John. Josh and Ember, I gave 4 stars. Book 2, Eyes Turn Skyward, is Paisley and Jagger. I would give it 4 stars, or I'm giving it 4 stars. Book 3, Beyond What Is Given, is Grayson and Sam. I gave this one 5 stars. I do think this one was my favorite. Book 4, Hallowed Ground, goes back to Josh and Ember. I would give this one, or I'm giving this one 4 stars. And book 5, The Reality of Everything, is Morgan and Jackson. Jackson. Yeah, I just read it. I can't think of his name. I'm gonna give this one 4 stars as well. So that is the Flight and Glory series. I thoroughly enjoyed them. I think that was what I needed. I think I needed some emotional reads, and that was definitely what I got. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.